The Clean Car Minnesota rule applies to manufacturers. The Clean Cars Minnesota standards do not require any individual dealer to have EVs on their lot. Clean Cars Minnesota is not making Minnesotans purchase a new EV. It is not outlawing internal combustion engines. It is not regulating tractors or combines or small engines like lawnmowers, chainsaws, boats, or all-terrain vehicles. It is not taking away people's F-250s or Silverado trucks. It is not taking away people's snowblowers and landscaping equipment. It is simply giving Minnesotans more choices, supporting our EV businesses, and reducing our greenhouse gas emissions.
Do we have a Minnesota standard now or don't we?
Mr. Chair, yes, the standard in place is called the Minnesota Clean Car Standard.
And that's going to be for how long of a period from now?
Mr. Chair, the standard, the Clean Cars Minnesota standard will be in effect through model year 2025.
So one more year, unless we go with California.
So the model years are different than the calendar years.
Yep.
So when I say it will end at the end of model year 2025, that is the end of calendar year 2024.
That's right.
And at that time, Minnesota will revert back to the federal emission standards unless a proactive action is taken to adopt the Advanced Clean Cars 2 standards.
There's one article that I read recently from MinPost that kind of sums it up well. It says that why would Minnesota move ahead with implementing the clean car rule if it's only going to be in effect for 1 year? And my understanding is, based on what you've said today, that this rule is only going to be in place for 1 year. So the biggest question I have is what is the purpose of doing this for 1 year?
Commissioner.
Chair Ingebrigtsen and Senator Eichorn, as I've noted, each additional electric vehicle and low emission vehicle that is sold in Minnesota actually improves air pollution problems in Minnesota. So there is benefit by enacting and seeing the increase to consumers of choice and seeing consumers make that choice.
You said you're not planning at this point to continue with California Cars 2.0, and we appreciate that, but in a hypothetical scenario, if the state did decide to go into rulemaking on California Cars 2.0, would that result in the ban of combustion engines in this state?
Commissioner.
Chair Ingebrigtsen and Senator Eichorn, I just want to reiterate that at this time we are not adopting Advanced Clean Cars 2, and that we're focused on Clean Cars Minnesota and an approach that makes sense for the state of Minnesota. If we were to proactively decide that we wanted to go through an additional rulemaking to adopt Advanced Clean Cars 2, there would be a long process that would be open to public input, and it would again follow the rigor that you've heard others describe that includes a statement of need and reasonableness, an economic analysis, as well as an administrative law judge hearing.
Again, follow up on that, Mr. Chair. So if I realize you're not doing it now, but if the state were to do that, if we were to adopt the California Emission Standards 2.0 or whatever you want to call it, would the sale of combustion engines at that point be banned in the state of Minnesota?
Commissioner.
Chair Ingebrigtsen, I will describe what we know of California's standards, which are that they are on a path for ZEV, the emission standards that apply to electric vehicles, to have new cars in 2035 be 100% electric vehicles. New cars sold in the state of California, and that is not something we are proactively doing right now in Minnesota.
Today, I want to tell rural Minnesota, we're not California. We are not acting like we're California. We're not going to adopt rules from California. We're not banning anything in Minnesota because California is banning combustion engines in California. We're not doing that. Don't have any fear that we're going to act like legislators from California because we love our state. And we're going to do what is best for people in rural Minnesota, suburban Minnesota, and metro because you matter to us.
I'm so glad to hear you say that we should quit talking about California. I'm all for it. I really am. I hope the governor's listening, because there's a whole lot of people out there that don't like us talking about comparing California